make me crawl out to my car. Okay, good evening. Bishop Bowden, will you lead us in prayer?
Sure. Precious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for once again being able to serve this great city. Bless this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Here.
Bolden.
Here.
Levens.
Here.
Sansing.
Here.
Ray.
Here.
Mashburn.
Here.
Trailer.
Here.
Twitty. Smith.
Here.
Raines.
Here.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm here.
All present, sir.
I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight to the April 7th City Council meeting, and especially our special 911 workers that we're on honor tonight. Before you have a presentation of minutes and approval of minutes. I hear approval of minutes of February 17th and March 17th.
So I'll move.
Motion stating any discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. All right, do you hear anything about the consent agenda?
I have a question about the consent agenda.
Okay.
Can we have animal control come up for me to ask? I have a question about the paperwork. Can we get you to, I was just curious, it said that, said you had 52 adoptions and you waived 52 adoption fees, but there were $880 in adoption fees taken in. What were the adoption fees for if we waived the 52?
I didn't realize the adoption stuff was on the agenda tonight.
Excuse me, Director, could you come?
Yeah,
I can't get her.
when the supervisor man come up to the microphone.
I didn't understand if this was even on the agenda for tonight.
The consent agenda is on the agenda every time.
As far as the adoptions go, so.
Now, state your name so it's on the
Oh, I'm
record, I'm sorry.
Jamie Parker,
Right.
Supervisor of the animal shelter. So your question to me is the
I'm-
amount of.
No, I'm just curious. It said you had 52 adopted animals,
Okay.
which is great. And it said on here that you waived 52 adoptions, but then it shows that we took in 880 adoption fees. So I'm wondering where the fees came from if we waived all the adoptions.
So we didn't completely, so the 52 adoptions was a combination of the photo adoptions and the city adoptions. The 818 is from the payment for the city adoptions. So when they come in and adopt through the city fund, and they pay the $55 adoption fee,
Right.
that's what goes to the city for the adoptions.
Okay. I guess so there was, okay, so we took in payments, the city took in payments for 16 adoptions.
Yes.
So then we
The rest of them
didn't,
was paid for through Jafota.
right, so we did not waive 52 then, we only waived 36.
If that's the Jafota, yeah. So the city didn't pay for 36 of them. Jafota paid for the 36 of them. The city only covered the 16 of them, which is what you had the $818 for. Or
880.
$880.
Jamie,
I can't even read my writing.
can you explain what Jafota is?
Oh, I'm sorry.
For some that
It's,
don't know.
It's the nonprofit for the shelter, Jacksonville Friends of the Animals. Sorry. I just thought everybody knew what Jafota was.
If I could add that, I think that's 52 adoptions, and they brought in $880. And the rest of that, money that's missing, Jafota paid for. We took it off of the monthly report because we're not gonna show money coming in. That's Jafota.
Yeah, this is
And
absolutely a new form of the.
It is new,
Yeah.
and we changed it, and, I had something I wanted her to add, but she didn't get it done in time to get it into Susan to get on the agenda. We were late on that. And so we are changing some of that form, and that's why it's different than last year.
Okay. Yeah, I just, again, I just saw that we waived 52 and that we took in 52,
Yeah.
so it should have been a net zero,
The-
and then I saw
correct.
880.
The confusing part is we took that balance out, because I don't want to show what Jafota pays.
Gotcha.
And unless it goes through the city's coffers as a contribution. That's we're gonna change on the next one.
Okay, yeah, again, it's,
We just didn't have a chance to change it before the.
yeah, absolutely. Again.
It's a work in progress.
Understood. Thank you very much. That's why I asked the question. So, thank you.
Do I hear a motion about the consent agenda?
I
Oh.
actually had a question.
Okay,
after
let
all.
me get the motion second. I'll wait and I'll answer your question. You got a motion? You got a second? All right, you got a second. All right, Councilmember Raines.
So just going after everything that has been said, we're going to get that amended, report for March, or?
Yeah, we can do an amended report.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time, because.
Yeah, no
I don't know
worries.
if everybody understands, I'm short-staffed.
Yeah,
I'm
of
down
course.
rosters. There's only 3 of us working in the shelter right now, so it's,
Yeah,
paperwork is kinda on the back burner compared to the more important daily stuff.
yeah, no worries. I'm just making sure that we understand what's going on, if it's an amended or if it's going to be on, the next month.
I want the monthly reports to be accurate every month, because at the end of the year, that's what she uses to do her totals.
Right.
And it needs to be, every month needs to be right for the end of the year to come out right.
Yeah, and so we should be looking for that in our emails, the amended version.
I think it would go through Susan probably if we amend that.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Say what?
I said, any more questions? Mr.
Oh, no, you're good.
You can sit down for now. You may be back later. All right, all those opposed, nay. All right, it carries. If we can indulge, I would like to recognize it, to move item B up to now on the agenda so that we could recognize our 911 workers. I'd entertain a motion to move item B.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion. All right, I need a motion.
Motion.
You made
I'll
the motion.
second.
In a second, to move item B, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Okay, and it's because they're here, and I'd just like to say Bishop Bowden's done some work and gotten some recognition, and would all my 911 workers please stand up? And I think we want you down front. You're definitely overworked and underappreciated in what you do, and this being 911 week, we wanted to recognize you, National 911 Week, for all that you do. You're so very important to the city and this community, these citizens. You take care of all of us all the time, and we want to say thank you as a council, and as your mayor, I want to say thank you, but individually, the citizens are sending their thank yous to you too. Bishop Bowden, you have the floor.
First of all, we started this back at the beginning of the year. We wanted to appreciate you guys and show you something in the month of February, but we found out the month of April is your month. So the mayor and I got together and we made a scheme. So I'm going to ask that all of you all come up front so people can see you and that the newspaper can get a nice picture of you. Come on, put your hands together for
You're
these
gonna be on TV and all that good
people.
stuff.
There's a TV in here?
Thank
Thank you for taking my calls and keeping me straightened out.
you. We appreciate all you do.
Attention to orders. Oh, wrong one. That's military. Citation, the City of Jacksonville 911 Center. Whereas the Arkansas is blessed to have citizens who are there in time of trauma or unknown, who make it their responsibility to serve and protect the citizens in their community. And whereas we commend the City of Jacksonville's 911 Center staff for working harmoniously with firefighters and police officers as the first responders' point of contact to connect our community with those in need, as well as the local citizens, volunteers who selflessly give their lives to aid citizens who are in need. Whereas the staff of the City of Jacksonville 911 Center is unified in their purpose to prevent tragedies and to keep citizens safe and healthy. They have done an excellent job serving on the front lines, and we recognize the importance of the City of Jacksonville's 911 Center and honor the heroic, all heroes are not in front of people, the heroic actions of you guys. The House of Representatives of the 93rd General Assembly of the State of Arkansas takes great pride in recognizing the City of Jacksonville's 911 Center staff for their continual service and sacrifice and wishes them the best in future endeavors. Now, therefore, pursuant to the motion of Representative Mark Perry, the Arkansas House of Representatives directs that this citation be presented on the 3rd day of February 2022, but we're doing it in April, all right? All right, put your hands together for that, come on. And I'm gonna ask that the Chief of Police and Fire Chief come up. And I'm gonna warn you ahead of time, don't rush me. Because they put their time in when you don't even see them, and they're taking your calls, and they're multitasking, and you know, the turnover rate is bad in this business. It really is. We really appreciate you. I hope I don't have to call you for me. The great city of Jacksonville with the seal in 2008, the U.S. Congress recognized the month of April as National 911 Education Month. Jacksonville, Arkansas celebrates our 911 Command Center for performing their mission of emergency services in Jacksonville to provide vital communication as a link between our great support staff. This is dated April 7, 2022, presented by Jacksonville City Councilman James E. Bolden III, Jacksonville Police Chief Britt Hibbs, Jacksonville Fire Chief Alan Laughley. Put your hands together for that. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that you have something to remember this day by, because like I said, you guys are important to us, and I don't want you to leave here tonight thinking that we take you for granted. I personally had this made, and I hope you like it. It has 911 Command Center, stay motivated. So when it's rough and tough, you got your little notepad here to write down how much we appreciate you. I'm going to give you yours, and the rest of them can take theirs home with them. So just let me just hand all those out to you, if you don't mind. Go ahead. Appreciate it.
I'm good.
Thank you, we appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Come on, put your hands together, everybody. I think one of them has a $100 bill. I don't know which one.
Tabby, we would recognize you if you'd like to say something to your staff and how much you appreciate them. I know you didn't plan on this, but we appreciate what you do and especially what they do. So just wanted you to say a few kind words to your staff.
On behalf of myself and my staff, first I want to say thank you to Alderman Bolden and the rest of you for recognizing us this month. We are a very busy 911 center, and like 911 centers across the nation, we are understaffed. But my group of people come to work every day with a smile on their face and ready to handle whatever chaos this world throws at them. I am lucky to have them as part of my team and to get to work next to them every day. So we appreciate you all recognizing it. They absolutely deserve it.
About how many calls do y'all answer a year?
Last year, we answered over 120,000 non-emergency lines and over 25,000 911 calls.
Wow. Thank
And
you.
we are on record this year to break that.
Oh, great. Thank y'all.
Did you get your photograph of this? Oh, you did. I'm not important.
That's right. This is your gig. Y'all scoot and look over your shoulder.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Thank you very much.
Come on, put your hands together for him. Come on.
Sir, if you go much longer, we may have to pass the plate.
What's that?
It's like you're preaching, so we go much longer, we have to get the hat, send it around. Appreciate you doing that, sir. And just put it on that table. Council member just goes on, yeah, goes up there. So we're closing on one.
Thank you for giving us that time.
Councilmember Bowden, appreciate that and working with us on getting that done. Thank you very much. So at 6:14, I officially open a public hearing regarding ordinance 1692. Justin, yes. Oh, yeah, the police, sorry. Chief, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to overlook you. So you have a plan, part of the consent agenda, so you're gonna talk to us about vehicles in the future.
Yes, sir, I do. You should all have a copy of the Excel document up there, and I'm going to go over that really quickly. It's just general information, and then I've got a couple questions. These are not all of our vehicles. These are just our fire engines, ladder truck, rescue truck, and ambulances. The good news is we're doing pretty well when it comes to our EMS ambulance fleet. Of course, we've got 3 newer ambulances. One is a 2018, the other one's a 2019, and the other one's a 2020, and we're still waiting on a brand new Medic 4 to come, hopefully in the near future. If you look at the top of this page, the top left-hand side, it says first line engines, engine 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the fire engines that we use every day to respond to everyday emergencies. And we have a backup engine, that's the engine 5. If you look at the age of these vehicles, we have one that is 6 years old, another 6 years old. We have engine 3 is 13 years old, and engine 4 is 17 years old. Now, I've heard for the past 2 years about the fire department and their brand new engines, but time is flying by pretty quickly. We ordered our, quote, brand new engines in 2015. So time is sneaking up on us. The average lifespan of a first run or first line engine is about 15 years. So when you look at engine 1 and engine 2, we're running at about 40% of its life expectancy. If you're looking at engine 3, it's 87%. And engine 4 is 113% of its life expectancy. In 3 years, you can see the corresponding numbers. We'll be running 60%, 60%, 107% life expectancy for engine 3, and for engine 4, it's 133%. And of course, as general information, the value of those vehicles are in the far right column. The problem here is, in talking to a vendor at the Chiefs Conference, he informed me that if I were to ask for the exact same fire engine as our latest engine 1 and engine 2, the cost would go from $516,000 to $733,000. That is a 42% increase in 6 years. So the cost of a new engine is astronomical nowadays. And it went from a 1-year build to a 2-year build. And I spoke to a fire chief recently, and he said his quote for a new build is 26 months. So that matches what the state vendor told me. So we got a cost of about $733,000. I asked this particular vendor to tweak some numbers. We got it down to about $715,579 each for 2 engines. On May 1st, however, the cost goes up 7% for a total of more than $765,000 for 1 engine. So because it's a 2-year build, we have a couple of options. Neither are great, but I will tell you that every year we wait is going to add another $30,000 to $50,000 to the cost of 1 engine. So they're getting extremely expensive. If we save money for 3 years and we order them in 2025, it's very likely to cost the city an additional $90,000 to $150,000 extra per vehicle. So what I'm asking you is to please consider if we can use the American Recovery Plan Act to purchase 2 engines. If we are able to order these before 1 May, I doubt we can, it's a couple of weeks away, but if we can, it'll cost the city $1,431,000 and some change. If we order it before May of 2023, it'll be $1.5 million. If we wait until 2026, it'll be $1,831,338. I was referencing an email from Cheryl, I think about a month and a half ago, and it talked about the American Recovery Plan Act that had allotted the city of Jacksonville about $5 million. And it said we had received $2.7 million, and I'm rounding the numbers here, with about $2.5 million expected this summer. And there's a part in there that said the Treasury is allowing $10 million as a standard for lost revenue, and that the stipulation is that we have to use it on, for government services, and we have until December 31st, 2023. So I guess my question is there a way that we can use some of this money to purchase these engines? And if not, does anyone have any ideas? Because the FEMA grants have dried up for municipal departments. They're mainly for volunteer departments.
Question, is this something that money can be used for?
It can be.
So you're asking if we know of any municipal grant opportunities, and is that correct? Other than the CARES Act money?
Any opportunities at all? Because right now, all I know is the FEMA grant, which is slim to none. I've written one before, it was rejected. In the past 20 years, I haven't checked the numbers in the past 2 years, but 2 years ago when I was looking at the numbers, in a 20-year span, the amount of money nationwide for FEMA grants, especially for vehicles, decreased in half. So like I said, volunteers are getting their lion's share of vehicles. They can't afford it. They don't have a funding stream like municipalities have, so.
So let me ask this question.
Yeah.
So you're saying the funds can be utilized for this, is that correct, Attorney?
From my understanding, yes.
Do we have the funds?
Good question.
Well, and
Half of it.
I think what we're doing is we're putting together a proposal, and I think you're gonna decide as a council what we're gonna use that money for. In a list of things, we have more needs than we have money. So I think as a council, you're gonna decide what that money will be used for. So Cheryl's been listening, getting the feedback, and this is one of them.
Right.
Of what to do with it, and then there'll be a proposal and what we're going to, because she has to report what we have spent and report what might be our plan. It doesn't have to be etched in stone, but you're gonna get a plan, and then you're gonna decide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is what we're gonna do.
So, Mr. Mayor,
You being a council.
are you saying that we're getting that next meeting? Because there is a bottom line on this with that May 1st deadline.
Yeah, and then I would doubt if we get all that ironed out before May the 1st. That would be my guess.
I couldn't even bring that enough accurate information to make that happen by May 1st. I was just giving you the numbers that I know.
Right. And so I think we're gonna have to sit there and decide what do we wanna do and how are we gonna best serve our citizens with, we could easily spend twice that if we had it. So yes, sir.
I have two things. Number one, engine 5 you said you have on here as a 2,000 Pierce.
Yes.
And it says the mileage is 14,620. Is that how many miles is currently on the vehicle?
Yeah, originally I thought that the odometer had flipped a few times, but when I did some more research before the presentation, we replaced that engine,
Okay.
the engine inside the.
And I'm just saying, if we weren't able to get two engines, like and splurge the 1.4, could we move this to a primary one since it only has 14,000 miles on it, and then possibly look into buying one other new one? I'm asking because I don't know
It's like putting a new brain in an old body.
Well, I mean,
You
if it
look at
wasn't,
axles and brakes and everything else.
I mean, if it wasn't worth it, we wouldn't have done it to begin with, right? To put 14,000 miles on it.
Well, it was either that or not use it because we didn't have $700,000 in our back pocket.
Gotcha.
Let me make sure, so I can bring clarity.
Yes.
You have 14,000 miles on the odometer, that's not 14,000 miles on the engine. That's a brand new engine, but
Brand new engine.
the body's old and wore out, like
Right.
me. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's a new combustion engine, not a new engine.
Correct.
But if we can get at least one, try to budget for that, I guess.
If we can get at least
I would-
one, that'd be great.
I would definitely be down if we could use some of that lost revenue money instead of the CARES Act.
And
And that's a decision that you're gonna have to make as a group, is what we're gonna do with it.
Okay.
Well, right now, we only know about 5.4 for sure.
That's all we're gonna
And,
get.
well, you just said that, Cheryl
And-
said there may be 10 10 million additional?
No. What they're saying is the 10 million, if you receive under that, you can count it all as lost revenue and not have to justify to receive any more. But we are limited to the 5.4, whatever it is that we're gonna receive. And so, the 10 million is just a threshold. If you received above that, then you have to justify above 10 million, but we didn't. So we will get to keep all of our money. We just gotta figure out how we're gonna use it and collectively.
So let me get this right. So, just bringing clarity. The next step then, Cheryl, would that be for them to get with you what they would like to propose, what they can get out of it? Is that right?
Yes.
So what kind of deadline do they need to make sure they get it to you in time to help you out, or have they already done it?
Okay, the directors have given me a list of things that needed to be done, and we just haven't narrowed that list down yet to bring to y'all to let y'all decide exactly which ones we're gonna use yet. And so it will probably be around June or July before that is actually narrowed down.
I have a question for you, Cheryl. Has there also been police vehicles that have been looked into possibly being purchased as well?
I don't remember exactly what all items were put on the list right off the top of my head, but there's still going to be more discussions.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And how much have we currently received so far?
I think it's like 2.7 or 2.5 million is what we've already received last year, and we'll receive the other remainder this year, either June or July.
And did we budget any new patrol cars in this year's budget?
I cannot remember.
I think we did. Yeah.
Two.
Was it two? Yeah, we got
Two. Yeah, we've tried to keep 2 in every year because we had gotten behind. So we've been trying to add at least 2 new patrol cars every year, which are $60,000, not $600,000 or $700,000. A little different. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And as, I'm sorry, Cheryl, are you done? I'm sorry. And as clarity, I don't want you all to think that Cheryl and I hadn't talked about it. We did a couple of times. And I told her I was going to come before council, and I wanted this on the agenda to let you know that there's 2 very important pieces of information that I found out recently that I didn't know. I had no idea it was going to be a 43% increase from our last one, so I had to get that out and let you all know, so it didn't surprise you later. And the second thing is, it went from a 1-year build to a 2-year build. So even if we purchase something next year, we're looking at 3 years out. So I told her I wanted to bring that to your attention, and that's what the point of this is. It's information.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that information.
All right, any more questions for me?
All right.
Okay.
We appreciate you, Chief.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Now we can have our public hearing. We're going to start at 6:27. Public hearing regarding ordinance 1692. I now declare it open, and anybody here wish to talk about ordinance 1672, please come forward. Everybody wants to mow their grass.
There's a copy of the agenda on this table in the middle here.
Right. Anybody that doesn't have it. And this agenda, this item is how we're combining our mowing requirements for your yard. Have very little effect to most of us. So I'll give, y'all need a couple minutes to decide if you want to come speak on it or anything. Is anybody, is you okay? Yeah. Okay.
We just want to make sure it wasn't us.
Yeah. You can take that copy with you, sir, if you'd like to. Yeah. Okay. We can always go make more. All right. So at 6:29, I declare that the public hearing is closed. Okay. Now we got that behind us. I entertain a motion to place ordinance 1692 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Councilmember Deets. Aye. Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1692, an ordinance amending Jacksonville Municipal Code, section 078-803-010, and repealing Jacksonville Municipal Code 808-010, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Or you want Lieutenant Wright to present this, Chief Hibbs? I don't want y'all to explain what we're doing in this, whichever one of y'all are gonna be. Lieutenant Wright, you drew the short straw, sorry, buddy.
So the purpose of this ordinance, we had 8.08, .010 and 8.03, or 8.01.078 were conflicting ordinances. One of them said that grass could be 8 inches or 24 inches. The other one said that it was 8 inches or 18 inches and referred to a table that didn't exist. The purpose here is to clear the ordinances up, get rid of the ones that are conflicting, and to make it a lot easier for everybody to understand what they're supposed to do.
So this would replace, and what would be the new requirements in 8 and 18? What are we talking about?
The new requirements on this one, we're adding the wording fences to get rid of the overgrowth on the fences that we see like along TP White Drive and places like that where the fences are just overgrown. And then it limits it to 8 inches in all residential districts. Gets rid of the 5-acre limitation on grass.
Right.
And allows 18 inches in height for any industrial or commercial lot that doesn't have a structure. Any commercial or industrial lot that does have a structure still falls under the 8-inch requirement.
Okay. Any questions for?
Well, I'd like to make a comment.
Yeah.
I'm the chairman of this, and it's greatly needed we do it now because it's getting time to mow grass, so we need to have a standard out there so people will understand what they adhere to. So we had a real good turnout and a lot of support, so it needs to be passed.
Okay. Any question? Yes, Councilmember Twitty.
Because I wasn't at that first meeting, the 5 acres.
Okay, so in 8.08.010, it specified that if you had a 5-acre lot, you basically didn't have to touch your grass.
Yeah.
So the lot could grow as tall as you wanted it, and there wasn't anything we could do about it. The issue we have now is, there's several that we've had recently, one with a 5-acre lot that had an issue with something being cut. This allows us to go in there, cut the developed part of the grass if they don't cut it. The undeveloped parts such as woods, forests, things like that, we're not gonna go back there and ride a mower through it or expect anybody else to. So it would just be the developed part of the land.
So,
Councilmember Blevins.
so is 8178, 8310, and 8810, are they gonna be still the same numbers that they were?
So 8.01.078 initially said 24 inches for a lot, a commercial or industrial lot with no structure on it. That was combined with 8.08 and lowered it down to 18 inches. We felt that 24 inches, 2 feet of grass is kind of high to have out in a lot
But,
in the
I mean,
middle
there's
of
still
town.
gonna be 8.1.78, 8.3.10, and 8.8.10.
8.8 is gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so it's gone completely now.
Yes, that'll be repealed.
Okay.
We try to remove confusion.
Okay. Any other questions?
All the dots.
Okay. I'd hear a motion to approve on first reading and suspend the rules and place on second reading.
Second.
And a motion second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Blevins.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Okay. Any question? All right. Entertain a motion to approve on second reading, put on third and final reading.
So move.
Second.
Motion second. All right. Roll call.
I call to the question. So, you requested to suspend the rules. That wasn't actually done. Right?
What? Yeah, we suspended the rules to,
The first vote.
That was to move.
To suspend
Right,
the rules.
right,
Wait, no,
to approve on first reading and
Right,
suspend
it
the
was
rules
the-
and place on second reading,
so
to-
that was a combination vote?
yes, yeah, that's what we always do.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, we don't actually follow Robert's rules, but
Okay. If I'm
We
doing
can just go
something
back and do
correct,
it.
so.
Let's just do it.
All right, so, roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
What are we voting on?
Approve on second reading, put on third and final reading. Suspend the rules, put on third and final reading.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. I guess I'm gonna need more vote on it.
That's what we're doing.
So are we voting, we need to vote, let's just go ahead and vote to suspend the rules, and then let's vote for the deal, just so there's no issues.
We're good. Sansing,
Aye.
Reedy,
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer,
Aye.
Twitty,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Okay. I entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1692.
Second.
Motion second.
I got one question.
One question.
Does this apply to, public right-of-ways or easements? So it would apply to Entergy, whoever has easements and property?
Right, by city ordinance, even though that 11-foot easement we have by the curb, is.
Well, now,
considered
my
ours.
question really is, it was from a citizen, in North Lake.
Yes.
There's a big easement there, a power easement that runs through there, so this will require them to keep that.
This will
easement
address
open.
that issue because that's over 5 acres out there and we can still have them do that.
It's not owned by anybody.
Yeah, that's.
I looked that up.
It's owned by Pulaski County, so. I
Yeah, the
believe-
assessor's office, there's
Right.
no owner.
Yeah,
I don't like claim to it.
it's common ground.
It's one of those weird little spots that doesn't actually have anything in it.
Yeah, and in the assessors, it says common ground.
Yeah.
Not even POA, nothing, whatever common ground is. I don't know.
It's all like common sense.
So if you can find somebody, you can make them mow it.
Right, we tried to
We'll
do it
find
last
Mr.
county
Common and
last
get
year,
you.
And we'll try that again this year, but that'll get done.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Deets,
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray. Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer,
Aye.
Twitty,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Raines.
Nay.
I entertain a motion to approve and adopt the emergency clause.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Deets,
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer,
Aye.
Twitty,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We've approved and adopted, so, this brings to the second reading, ordinance 1689, yeah, 1689. I'd entertain a motion to put ordinance 1689 on second reading. Motion second, roll call.
Councilmember Deets,
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing. Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer,
Aye.
Twitty,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Raines.
And you said second reading?
We passed it on first reading last time.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1689, an ordinance authorizing a franchise agreement for fiber optic cable, data management, digital information services, and electronic transmission communication services within the city with Unite Private Networks LLC and for other purposes.
Thank you. Is somebody from the organization here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, could you come tell us what your plans are? If you started, when you plan on starting, who you're gonna serve?
My name is Brent Hooker. I'm the construction manager for UPN. We have 5 or 6 sites, I believe, just kind of around Jacksonville where we'll be building fiber optic to cell towers for various customers at different towers.
Or are you gonna be residential
No,
business?
sir, we do not do any residential work. All we do is business, government, and schools, basically.
Okay. Have you started laying fiber yet?
No, sir, we have not done any work within the city of Jacksonville yet.
Okay.
Is it underground or above ground?
A little bit of both, just kind of depending on the area. We'll have some aerial and some buried, depending on different sites.
And you said that there were 6 locations.
I don't remember exactly how many fall within the Jacksonville city limits. We've got several in the area.
Is there any way that we can get a list of those areas that you would be?
Yes, I thought
Could you
y'all
send
already-
it to the clerk and she would send it to all the council members?
Okay, I thought that you already had all that. My apologies.
Okay. We may have. But, yeah.
It wasn't in the packet last.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember it.
It was not.
And send those to the city clerk.
Yes. and then she'll send it, forward it to me and the council members.
My apologies about that, 'cause I thought you already had all that.
No worries. So with you being the construction manager, you would know a little bit more about the in-depth process of boots to the ground, what's actually being laid, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many miles are we talking?
Within the city limits, it'll probably be less than a mile, I believe.
Okay.
Altogether. For the most part, we're leasing some fiber that's already in the ground, it's already there, it's already working. So we're gonna lease some dark fibers from some other companies to minimize our build level. So really, it'll be just kind of that last, probably, I know one of them's like 120 feet, but there's one of them that's closer to about 3/4 of a mile. off the lease.
So you would not be going down Main Street laying new fiber?
No, sir.
Okay.
So all that's already in the ground, we're just gonna be tapping into it, like I said, building 100 to maybe 1,000, 1,500 feet, depending on which side it is.
Is that mainly Ritter? Is that mainly Ritter you're attached to?
No, sir, Unity, Windstream, depending on who you wanna call it. Windstream owns the cable, Unity owns the glass inside of it, it's kinda one of those weird deals. So,
And we approved Windstream before I was here, but like,
Yeah, they've been in
like
town for a long
17,
time.
16, or something like that.
Well, Ritter was supposed to put free internet down Main Street. back in
Yeah,
the day.
yeah, they're kinda new, well, fairly new, not that new. That's who we use at the city, some of our stuff, so, yeah, use a little bit of everybody. Okay, any further questions about this?
Well, I mean, I do have a general question why we would go through with an ordinance and not do a request for qualifications and put it to bid. Is this like just a particular project that is?
It's allowing them to pay us money when they have a customer that uses their services.
Okay.
They have to pay us money.
There's nothing coming out of our pocket.
Yeah, it's nothing for us, we're not spending any money, they're giving us money.
The reason we're coming into town is because we're doing a big project all around Little Rock, serving about 80 towers. And like I said, 5 or 6 of them fall within the city limits of Jacksonville. And so our customer has requested us to build to these towers.
We appreciate you coming to town.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna appreciate your money.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll spend
I
it all.
just want to understand process.
Yeah, this is a franchise agreement
Yeah.
for them to do business in the city of Jacksonville.
And for right now, it's just the towers, but like I said, hopefully we have more customers and we can branch out
Right.
and all that. So
More customer get you more franchise fee, you pay. That's right. Okay, I like that.
we're not scared to pay a little bit.
Okay. Any other questions for this gentleman? All right. We appreciate you coming tonight. It's really brought some insight, and we appreciate that, and keep up the good work. So I entertain a motion to approve 1689. Do I need to do two separate things to suspend the rules? We always do them together. And entertain a motion to suspend the rules and put on third reading. Yeah,
I thought they were together. Aren't they
they're
together?
together. Okay,
I thought it's together.
okay, okay. So to approve on second reading and suspend the rules and place on third and final reading.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we got a motion, a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer. Twitty.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
I'd entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1689. Okay, y'all want to go just about, okay, roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty. Smith. Raines.
Aye.
I'd entertain a motion to approve emergency clause.
So move.
Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer. Twitty.
Aye.
Smith. Raines.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Our next item is 1686. I'd entertain a motion to place ordinance 1686 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1686, an ordinance by the city of Jacksonville, Arkansas, calling for the annexation of land currently located in Pulaski County, Arkansas, pursuant to Arkansas Code annotated 1440-501 through 503.
Thank you. I think we have a few members here tonight that have been before, and I think we made some adjustments. So would you come explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we got to this point?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Jason Bolden. I'm an attorney with Jared Puckett, one of the investors in this project. And this is to develop 68 units, lots, bringing in, is it 26 acres? Approximately 26 acres that is an enclave within the city of Jacksonville, but still technically Pulaski County. We came before you previously and asked for all of the lots to be zoned as duplexes. We got some pushback from that. We tried to amend and come up with a plan that would be more accommodating to diminish the amount of traffic and so forth. So we are now asking for 28 of those lots to be zoned R1 for single-family houses and not as duplexes. And we would appreciate a good vote, and we'll be glad to answer any questions.
All right, any questions?
Yeah.
Councilmember Trailer.
Gone back to the planning commission, everything's worked out with the planning commission?
Yes, this proposal did pass the planning commission with the appropriate R1 and R2 designated zoning, which is included in this packet under the legal description.
Okay.
I have a question. How many duplexes are there now?
40,
40 is under the proposed plan.
and 28 single-family houses. Plus, we're building 4 other houses that are just outside of that. That was kind of part of the original agreement that we, on the planning side.
They're actually in Loop Acres, which is this there on Loop Road.
Yeah.
The other 4, no, they'll be single family, that all of Loop Acres Road, whatever that road is R1. So those will go along with what's there.
And we had to purchase that acreage to get the driveway that they wanted, or the new street. We had extra land, and so part of our proposal the first time was we built some single-family houses there. So 4 of those are already under construction, and then we'll do 28 on this phase, single-family homes, and then 40 duplexes.
Which will cut down on the traffic. Okay, anybody else? Councilmember Twitty.
Rental rate?
Well, for the duplexes, we think they'll be that $700 to $950 a month range.
That's more than the last time when I asked that question.
Well, last time we own some on nearby, and we're getting about $795 on those, and they're 4 years old, I think. So we think we can get at least that, maybe more. The biggest unknown is, because you're gonna have several of them coming on at the same time, so we don't know how that competition is going to flow through there. So maybe it's $695, but we're gonna shoot for $795, maybe up to $800, $900 a month. But this market, the way it's changing too.
And the single family is the 28%, is that for sale?
No.
That's rental also?
So the single family homes, will be probably around the $1,500, $1,295 to $1,700.
So those are rentals, not home ownership?
Yeah. Do what?
Those are rentals? The single-family homes?
Yes, that's what y'all's business is,
Yes,
is it
that's
not?
what our-
Is
that's
housing
what they do.
development and rental?
Yeah.
Rental property.
They do rental.
And you're also building the new office out.
On 67, 167.
Right.
It never dry up.
Any further questions of the, we kind of hashed this over pretty hard. We gave them some marching orders and they went back and the planning commission approved it. So any further questions of this development?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to take the time to thank them for taking the feedback and coming back to us.
Yes, that was very good. I mean, it's good we can work together for the betterment of the city, and we appreciate your investment.
Yeah, and it's a learning process for everybody, not just, our community members, but some of the members up here as well.
I think for all of us, yes. Councilmember Deeds.
Mayor and council, okay, so I was on all the planning on all this and everything. And, the land was purchased. It had been out there available for years. So basically, you have to take your land and you have to use it for what's the best economical amount for your land. Unfortunately, right now, rentals is where everything's going. Whether I like it or I dislike it, I gotta heed to guidelines that's put out there. And if they get a subdivision and somebody gets it approved, it's in the city, they handle their rentals. That's why we have now a new building code that we're gonna be able to enforce rentals in all properties to comply. That's just the way the law is. And want to alert everybody to that. This is federal housing law, also FHA month. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather have single-family residencies. I'd rather have duplexes. I have both, and you know, I do rent them. They're maintained, and it's just what is the best value for their land. Unfortunately, you know, if somebody wanted to buy one of them lots to put a single-family house, you'd probably sell them one, I bet you. And yeah, I mean, they're not against selling a house, single-family residency. We approved a subdivision right down on Lee Acres. Okay, they've already sold 3 of them, which is a great deal for the city of Jacksonville, and every one of them has been sold over in excess of $120 a foot. I mean, I'm telling you, people, you know, these rentals. I work for a big rental company. We do not have enough properties for people to live in Jacksonville. We're out of rentals. And we're also out of single-family houses to sell. So we got to have a place for somebody in town, other people that's coming in to keep them here, to have a place to live. And to me, a duplex that's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, it's going to go for $800-900. That's not inexpensive living. That's high dollar living.
Councilmember Blevins.
Yeah, when we initially saw this the first time before you moved everything, you were building 7 houses right there on JP Wright Loop, and I thought y'all said they were going to be for sale. They weren't going to be rent houses. And I also thought that when other things were discussed, that all the single-family homes were going to be for sale and that the duplexes are going to be for rent. I mean, I'm fine with it either way. I just want to let you know this is the first time that I'm hearing that the houses were planned to just be rental only.
May I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
I, for one, fully understood that it was an entire rental project. I understood that. And I would like to thank y'all for working with us on surrounding the duplexes with single-family homes, which just not only cuts down on the traffic, but I think makes for a more aesthetically pleasing area. Sure. Thank you for working with me and with the other council members on that. And I very much appreciate it. And that's one of the reasons I voted for it.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, any further questions, discussion?
Over to vote.
All right, I entertain to approve on first reading and place on suspend the rules, put on second reading. Got a motion, a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
No.
Smith.
No.
Raines.
Aye.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve on second reading and place on third and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, a second. Discussion. Any discussion? All right. All those in, yes.
Well, never mind. I don't think we're allowed to ask. Go ahead.
Well, you have to, right now, we're in discussion right now. All right. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
No.
Smith.
No.
Raines.
Aye.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion approve and adopt on this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
No.
Smith.
No.
Raines.
Aye.
Welcome to Jacksonville. Appreciate your investment in our city, and good luck. I hope it's promising, and we're glad to get rid of that island.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, that brings us to resolution 817. I'd entertain a motion to read resolution 817.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay.
Resolution 817, a resolution in support of and authorizing execution of sale of documents by the city of Jacksonville for certain real property described herein and for other purposes.
Director House, could you come to the microphone, please? I want to explain what we're doing here, and this is to deal with, I sent you 100 and something pages of appraisals, but we're talking about the Bailey Street Church of Christ. There's a building, there's a parsonage, and then tonight, the first item is we're going to try to buy is the land, the grassy area, the undeveloped area, doesn't have any asphalt behind it, that's adjacent to Splash Zone parking lot for expansion of Splash Zone. The church is willing to sell that portion of it for $100,000. And in the future, we'll see what they're willing to do with the other. But I asked Kevin again, because he's the one in charge of Splash Zone and been working with me on this, so any
You guys know
questions?
we need more parking. And when they approached Mayor and I maybe a year ago.
At least,
At
yeah.
least.
Yes.
And at that point, I told Mayor, I said if we could buy that grassy field and be able to expand Splash Zone's parking would be great for us.
Quick questions.
Yes,
Splash Zone
Councilmember
is-
Blevins, I'm sorry, he had his hand up.
So we are not looking to buy the church.
Not yet. If they get it low enough, we will.
Okay, and all this is together, right? I wanna make
Yeah,
sure I'm not jumping
there's
ahead.
actually three things we're talking about there. We're talking about the parsonage and the driveway to it. We're talking about the church and the asphalt parking lot. And what we're first going to purchase is the grassy area behind the church that's adjacent to our parking lot at Splash Zone.
Okay, and not this house.
No. No, it's been broken into.
The house is in bad shape along with the church.
They think
building.
way
So
higher
they-
of it than
All
Kevin
all
does.
three buildings there are in bad shape.
And they think a lot, but this would be great to expand our parking and not have to always park so much at the church across the street.
How are we paying for it?
We have the money in capital improvement fund.
How much land is it?
And we've not had it surveyed yet, Mayor.
And I was waiting until y'all approved it before I paid for a survey. But you think it's an acre and a half, 2 acres?
I would say probably, my guess would be an acre and a half, maybe
Yeah.
2.
Looks like about acre and a half.
Right.
Is this where the senior citizens trailer used to be?
No, nothing's ever been there. This is Harpo Street ends
Yeah, I know
at
that.
Bailey Street. And this is just the grass area behind it. There's nothing ever been back there.
You know, when the first senior citizen center we had, we thought it was on our property at Martin Street, but it was on the church's property, and they let us have it for $1 a year. Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
you're
before-
going back
yeah,
against
that's
me. I don't
before
even
That's
know.
what I was thinking. That's what it was. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
that's when y'all was born.
Councilmember Sampson.
Are we at capacity every day at the Splash Zone?
With good weather, we hit capacity every day.
Yeah.
Capacity every
Obviously,
day,
it's
you need
weather
more
permitting,
parking.
but we're capacity every day.
Can I say something? Let me say this. If you go by Splash Zone, sometime I go there and park just to watch to see how the crowd is. Parking lot's full at the church across the street. People wait in line for hours to get in. And remember, those that are inside, there's no guarantee they're gonna walk out quick. So, we're at capacity.
Yes.
I mean, it's,
And which is another thing we're gonna have to plan down the future is we really need to expand Splash Zone, which hopefully they'll get this house right and we can buy the 2 lots behind it and we can actually have another entrance from Gray Street, a maintenance entrance or something that area for a road that's never been built at Gray Street. So we're hoping some year down the road that we're doing all of that, Lazy River and things of that nature. So we gotta start somewhere. And so starting there is what we're doing.
That piece of land, like you said, being, when I was on the committee for the Parks and Rec, when we did Splash Zone and we wanted to expand it and go really big, and we didn't have the funds once again, so it kind of contained what we could do, which now, as we know, we need it. But, you know, this piece of land probably is a good start because it benefits us in the city and Splash Zone in the city of Jacksonville better than anybody else. So we probably need to take advantage of it right now, the way everybody's buying everything.
Councilmember Blevins. Okay, I'll get you next, Mike.
I definitely agree that we need to expand. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to like derail that or anything, but I think that we should table this until we get that land surveyed, find out exactly what we're buying and at what price it's gonna be done, because right now just saying, yeah, we'll go ahead and let you buy it, we don't know how big it is or if it's cost effective or anything
You could look at it, it's where the asphalt ends on both sides, all the way back to Splashstone. And,
How many square feet
but
is
it's
this?
not on,
How many square acres is this? How many
well,
acres is this?
Kevin's guessing, and
I'm just
I
saying
didn't
you
wanna
can't
pay
tell
for.
by looking at that.
No, I didn't wanna pay for a survey, we're estimating it to be acre and a quarter to an acre and a half.
No matter which way we go, we can't go wrong, cause the acre, we need the acreage that's right there.
I mean, is that?
We need
is
the
that-
land.
100,000.
I moved we adopt,
I mean, is it,
resolution
is the price
817.
what the price normally is for that
It's
stuff?
gonna be 100,000, and it will be appraised before we finish it, and before I make the deal. It's gonna be appraised.
I have a motion second on the floor to approve.
Got a motion second to
Is
approve,
this a resolution?
just a resolution, yeah.
Now, there ain't no second shot, so I get to ask my question.
Yes, sir.
I learned that a long time ago. Wait till the second reading, it's gone. This property that y'all are talking about buying instead of the house and the parsonage, or the church and the parsonage, you're talking about buying this other lot.
Correct.
There is no other lot.
No,
We
it's,
would have to separate.
we're
with the survey.
going to have to get it surveyed and separated.
Right now, it's one.
It's
tract,
one,
all
yeah, we
one
would have
tract.
to separate it by a survey, and
Yes.
Mayor and I talked, and we just
That's
didn't
what
wanna.
playing on my phone. I was looking it up.
Yeah, I didn't want to, pay for a survey if we weren't serious about wanting to buy it. And we have nothing else around there, so that,
I just think until we buy it, we get the survey,
we will get a survey and I will have it appraised.
and then we can vote to buy it.
Now, I've gotta have this motion to be able to do all that. Yeah, yeah, cause this is just, you're gonna know what I do before I do it. I already know the price.
Did I not make a motion?
You made a motion, we got a motion,
second?
and we got a second. All right, so, all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
Nay.
All right, thank you. Okay. Moving on, that brings us to ordinance 1690. I entertain a motion to put ordinance 1690 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay? Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Ashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty. Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1690, an ordinance declaring the exercise of eminent domain on certain real property within the city limits of the city of Jacksonville, Arkansas, for the acquisition of public easements and rights of way for the construction and development of improved public water and sewer lines for the construction projects on behalf of Jacksonville Waterworks and Jacksonville Wastewater and for other purposes. So, if I can, I know you guys approved previously 16 other parcels. This was a parcel that we thought we had negotiated and had an agreement on, but that has fallen through. So I'm asking you guys to approve this so I can file this in circuit
Okay,
court.
I was looking for Jake and Thea.
No, I told them they didn't need to be here.
Okay, so this is basically the same
It's the
thing
same
that we were
thing.
doing before.
This-
Okay.
This one has fallen through, so this will now go to circuit court if you guys approve this.
Okay. And this is the main problem is they're not happy with RDOT. Is the big problem with this, so. Okay, any other questions on this? Okay,
Can you elaborate on that? Just like they're not happy with RDOT, what are you talking about?
they don't like RDOT taking part of their parking lot, they don't agree with them doing it, they don't agree with the price they're giving them. So it's not our putting in the sewer and water that's bothering them, it's RDOT taking the front row of their cars or half their parking lot or all of their parking lot. So we may end up they may end up in court, we won't.
Right.
We're just saying we're gonna put water and sewer in there because that's what RDOT's told us to do. Am I correct? Okay.
Okay.
Mayor.
Councilmember Blevins.
This would have been included in that last stuff that we approved if we would have known this was gonna happen, right?
We would have known.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
we were in the works, we were negotiating this and it just, it's kind of fallen through, so that's why it's coming to you now as opposed to previously.
Yeah, we've approved this before, I mean, similar. Okay,
Mr. Mayor?
all right. Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to make
Yes,
a
ma'am.
motion to approve ordinance 1690.
What about suspend the rules and put on second reading?
I mean, I
Okay,
Okay
suspend the
with
rules and put on second, okay. All right, you got a motion, a second, roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer. Twitty. Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Aye. So for the record, I will say that the reason why I give you such flack on that is because of the fact that, especially with that grass ordinance, that was a public hearing. Maybe nobody knew about that as far as the public's concern goes, and so they literally did not get their chance to voice their concerns if they're hearing about it secondhand. And again, it's not being
It was
discussed in a
advertised.
following meeting because we've already done all 3 readings.
It was advertised for 2 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, I understand that it's advertised in the paper, all of that stuff, but nobody looks at the paper.
That's not our fault.
okay. I entertain a motion to approve, ordinance 1690 on second reading and placed on third and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
Alright,
I entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1690. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty. Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
aye.
Okay. I entertain a motion to place ordinance 1691 on first reading.
So move.
Second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Bolden.
Aye.
Levens.
Aye.
Sansing.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Mashburn.
Aye.
Trailer.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Raines.
aye.
Ordinance number 1691, an ordinance to amend various sections of the Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 6, for the city of Jacksonville and for other purposes.
Councilmember Levins, do you care to explain?
Yes, sir. We put this ordinance already up once, and it would have gone through if we wouldn't have amended it to try to include the roosters. Essentially, this does not affect the HOA. It does not affect the BOA. This is not superseding of the rules. Right now in Jacksonville, you can have unlimited chickens and unlimited roosters as the rate of pricing and how hard it is to find things like eggs and chicken and stuff like that. I'd ask that we approve this. It's 50 feet to allow them to have 6 chickens and bring in 1 rooster if they had one, but they need to register it. So again, this vote pretty much went through last time, but it was an amendment, so it didn't have the right amount of numbers. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Yes.
I think the present order that we had already is good enough.
Okay.
We don't need any additional chickens, no any additional pigs, no additional cows, anything.
They can
I
already
think
have
we have
unlimited.
enough already.
They can already have
I
unlimited.
don't think
We're
we
trying
need
to
no additional
minimize it.
anything.
Yeah,
Trying to minimize
100 feet. Barbara, Councilmember Mashburn.
How hard is it gonna be if we done this for the animal shelter to control if you had a problem? And code enforcement as well.
It's gonna be extremely hard. Especially, I mean, I'm not excuses, but especially during the summer. That is our busiest time of the summer with dogs running at large, people locking dogs in cars. Emergency calls takes up most of it. When I have a full staff during the summer, we have 2 officers on the road all day, every day, taking care of high priority calls. So I don't really have the manpower, and I probably would never have the manpower to designate 1 officer to go around and check in these chicken ordinances, and because a lot of them have to be moved every 24 hours. They gotta be cleaned up after 48 hours. I just don't have the manpower. Even if I had a full staff, I wouldn't have the manpower.
I have a question.
I have a 2-part question. Hang on.
Okay, go ahead, Councilmember.
Code enforcement.
Code enforcement, really the animal stuff, animal control does all the animal ordinances, code does code ordinances, police do the police stuff. And we keep it all separate. So code, won't have much to do with the animal stuff. It'll be animal control. You wanna go ahead with your question?
My question is talking about chipping roosters.
Mhm.
How much does it cost to get an animal chipped, and who would get a rooster chipped?
So, first of all,
Register, it's not chip.
if you chipped a rooster, you can't use the normal microchip that you use in a cat or a dog, okay? Because they're too big, the needles are too big. And if anybody, I know this sounds crazy, but if anybody has ever plucked a chicken or rooster, you will see they do not have any skin whatsoever.
That's right.
And in order to chip it, you have to pull the skin up to be able to get the needle in there to chip it. And there's just no way. That's,
She told me earlier, she thinks it's an RFID tag rather than a microchip.
and no vet around here carries RFID tags, chips. I mean, it's.
I have,
Can I say something? I mean, this is crazy, people. Nobody's gonna go and bring their rooster to get chipped. Nobody. I don't care what anybody else up here says. Nobody's gonna take their rooster to get chipped. But for some people up here that don't understand, the ordinance that we have right now, we allow roosters unlimited, and we allow chickens unlimited. That is our ordinance right now. We're not talking about, they don't have to have them chipped right now or anything else. Brian, explain what you're saying in plain English, because.
I thought I've said it 1,000 times, and I don't understand my disconnect.
Ray just said we don't wanna add.
Yeah, he said we don't want to have more chickens running around. Right now, we can have all the there is a distance requirement, but as long as you meet that distance requirement, you can have 1,000 chickens in the city of Jacksonville. You can have thousands of roosters in the city of Jacksonville. Now, the thing is that there are some people in low-income areas that have contacted me that are like, hey, look, I really would like to be able to have eggs because I can't go spend $5 a carton on eggs, and I'd like to have them. And can we please make this happen? So initially, we had it at 25 foot, but the mayor said, look, I probably would really only go for it if it was 50 feet. So we adjusted to say 50, and then there were some people that had roosters already, and we didn't want them to get rid of the roosters that they have right now. So we implemented that they could register them, not RFD tag them or clip them or whatever, just to have them registered to say that we have chickens. And like all this other talk about like, man, they smell, and man, we don't have manpower. Like there is a saying that is, the sheep spend their entire life fearing the wolf, only to be eaten by the shepherd. Like you guys are making this big deal over something that's not even going to happen, that people in the town really want, and you're pulling all these other deals out. Like I never would have imagined in a million years that chickens, and everybody else is doing it, by the way. These successful cities that have more than 1,000 people in growth over the census, they all allow chickens.
Unless our code officers are going in people's backyards, there are a lot of people in this town that have chickens.
Yeah, I mean, what's up? Do we have the chicken? Are the chicken hunters here tonight? Like the code enforcement chicken hunters? Do we have them?
If I could speak.
Through this city, Mr. Mayor, if you ride through this city, you can count people. You can't count the people on your hand and feet that's got chickens and they got eggs and everything. We don't need to do anything what we already have. What we already have is sufficient.
You don't need
It's enough for these cities. We don't need to add anything to it.
I know that it was just for the people who already have it.
Okay, let's keep this under control. Yeah, yes. Okay, let's keep this orderly. And so, Councilmember Twitty, you had asked a question, so would you like, are you through with your question? Okay.
I have a question.
Chief Hibbs, would you want to introduce your guest
So,
and what he might have to say?
I didn't become the chief of police to talk about chickens. I don't know anything about chickens. But here I am, this is like the third time. What I do have, though, is an expert, 17 years of farming chickens. That's Officer Colburn's been with us over a little over a year. He had 10 chicken houses. He's raised over 1 million chickens a year, 5 times a year, from when they come in to when they go out. He has 2 pullet houses, 10,000 chickens 5 times a year. So it's over 1 million chickens a year. If there's anybody around here that knows anything about this diseases, feed, what this ordinance needs, how to raise chickens, it's him. So I've asked him to come and answer your questions and to speak a little bit about this.
Awesome.
I take it you're not in the city limits,
I do live in the city
He is
limits.
now.
but your chickens aren't.
My chickens are not. They are in Cleveland County.
Okay. Could you explain the problems with having chickens in the city limits and what we
There's
might
chickens in
incur?
the city limits, that's just it, we already have them.
We already have chickens in the city limits.
Well, here's a.
Could we let the officer speak?
I need you to get.
Turn on your
more
microphone,
mic.
make sure we
Yeah,
hear you.
bring the mic closer and
All right.
state your name.
Explain it to the
I'm
novice.
Officer Coburn. Like the chief said, I've been raising commercially for over 17 years. And what you're going to run into is not just having chickens and people looking at them saying they're nasty or they smell. You're going to look for legal ramifications when somebody catches E. coli, salmonella, and other airborne diseases that can arise from uncleanliness. If y'all are wanting to, say it's okay to have chickens, well, you need to have some kind of educational process for this person that's getting them, so little 5-year-old Johnny next door don't run barefoot through the yard and catch a disease. Now you're going to get the CDC involved, you're going to get the EPA involved, and PETA, Lord have mercy, is going to jump on you like a chicken on a June bug. Okay, so not just and roosters is not a meat bird. A rooster is not a meat bird.
Please say that again, because a lot of people don't understand.
Well, roosters are like I say, they're not meat birds. They're used to fertilize a hen. That's the only reason that they exist, is to have fertile eggs. You don't have to have a rooster to have eggs. A lot of people, don't know that. But and even with you can have as many chickens as you want is a big problem, because that that encodes unsanitary conditions. As a commercial farmer, we have the University of Arkansas comes to our farm every year, several times a year, to make sure that we have adequate ventilation, adequate bedding, and dry conditions, because you have a lot of bird at Dupree Park and the other parks, and if heaven forbid a poultry disease like the bird influenza ever breaks out, they will shut your city down. The EPA, they don't play. If there's ever an outbreak, they will shut down every commercial operation within 10 miles, and you're talking millions and millions of dollars, and they've done that, North Arkansas. That's a big deal. So if you want to look at it from a managerial standpoint, like y'all are going to have this on your shoulders, it's going to be a legal ramifications.
6 chickens.
Yeah, we're
Can I
talking
remember
6
what-
chickens.
That's right.
Six
One
chickens. All right, so, and how long have you been, you're with Jacksonville, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been with Jacksonville?
A little over a year.
Okay, so with us being able to have unlimited chickens and unlimited roosters, how many E. coli breakouts have there been?
In the
Since,
city of
in
Jacksonville?
city of Jacksonville, how many E. coli breakouts has there been?
I don't know of any.
How many places have had to be shut down over Jacksonville having unlimited chickens now, unlimited?
To my knowledge, none.
So with us allowing people to go to having 6 chickens instead of unlimited, now all of a sudden chickens are the monkey from Outbreak, and we're gonna have to shut down the whole city for an E. coli outbreak because of 6 chickens. Because somebody can't afford to go to Walmart and get eggs when they even have
I don't
them.
believe nobody can't afford to go to Walmart and get no eggs. People giving away chicken, eggs, and things every week, everywhere.
Well, and there's
you go
the
around
cost.
anywhere, you can find eggs anywhere. People giving away eggs, dozens of eggs all the time. I just don't believe that. That's not fine.
Yeah, people that
And
have
I don't
chickens
think we
are
sit
giving
here
away
and talk about
Okay,
chickens,
okay, let's-
chickens. I'm sorry, Mayor.
Let's, one person gets floor at a time.
We got more better business to talk about than raising the chicken.
Okay, Greedy, let's move on. Councilmember, Bowden.
Green Acre, no. I've had many calls about not doing it. Like you say, you've had calls about people who want it. I've had many calls about they don't want chickens the freedom. I told them they already have chickens, like what you said, in certain places. But I've had many calls of people who do not want it. And then when it comes to roosters, my mother-in-law lives in a city called Tyler, Texas. And when we visit my mother-in-law and we're trying to sleep late, all of a sudden we hear the rooster song. So it's not a real good feeling to hear a rooster song when you're trying to sleep after driving all the way to Tyler, Texas. So I'm just saying there's a lot of ramifications from this if we do it. But I know the ones that have contacted
If we
me.
do what? Explain if we
Okay.
do what?
If you let
Okay,
roosters,
let's-
talking about having roosters in the,
Our
Just
ordinance already
grandfathering
allows
them in.
it.
I'm talking about grandfathering them in and all that, you know.
But no, we have an ordinance right now that allows as many roosters as you want.
You can have
Our
all the
ordinance
roosters you want
says
now.
There's no limit on the chickens
Oh.
and no limit on the roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Councilmember Traylor, I'm gonna give Councilmember Traylor the floor. Everybody else?
You want some chicken moves in the country, that's what I think.
Okay.
Brian?
Yes, sir.
No, committee.
Huh?
My wife and myself respectfully request you rescind your ordinance before we have a law that says we can't have chickens.
Well, Councilmember Traylor, I will definitely take that under advisement, but I think now what we need to do is I think we need to make a motion to suspend the rules, to put another motion in to where we need to ban chickens completely from the city of Jacksonville before we have an E. coli outbreak that causes everybody to be in trouble. So can I
That'd
get
be-
like a,
That'd be a different ordinance than what's
can I get a
written.
second?
Okay, so
Can we vote on this?
Yes.
you can call for the
Yeah,
question.
let's call for the vote.
Oh, there's no motion on the floor to call.
Yeah, there is.
Make sure I'm
Yes,
understanding this.
there's a motion.
So we're
Oh,
either
oh, there's
voting to
not,
have
okay.
unlimited chickens and roosters like we have now, or we're gonna vote to limit the chickens and only one rooster. Is that the vote?
We're gonna make a vote to remove all chicken.
That would
roosters.
also limit the feet requirement from 100 to 50 feet.
Yeah.
But you can't go unlimited chickens anymore, you'll have 6.
Right, only 6, but you can be 50 feet from your neighbor instead of 100
Right
feet.
now, the ordinance says 100.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it says you can have as many as you want.
As
there's
many
no
as you want.
number, And there's no number on the roosters. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. That's the ordinance we have right now.
Right.
So
So-
can I ask why you want to shorten the distance from 100 feet to 50?
Yeah, because in some of the low-income areas, the people that have reached out to me, they don't have 100 feet to be able to have chickens. So we tried to minimize it down to allow them to be able to have 6 chickens so they could have eggs for their families so they don't have to go out and buy them.
And they already have them, right?
No, they don't have them.
I have one more thing I want to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Just one more thing, then I'm going to be quiet. This does not change the BOAs or POAs.
Has nothing to do with it.
Nothing at all.
I myself have been accused of that's what I'm trying to do. That is not what this is about at all. We can't overrule them anyway. That's not what we're trying to do, so. Just wanted to put that on record.
Okay, Chief Hips.
This ordinance that's on here does not address fencing, which is important. You gotta have solid fences, not chain link. The dogs next door barking at the chickens, especially in Sunnyside, the low-income areas you're talking about, causes chickens to be under stress. This is something that Officer Coburn can talk at length about. Chickens are very susceptible to that sort of thing. It does not address the feed, which causes rats and rodents. It does not address the rain cover or certain things like that that chickens also need. They don't get wet. There's certain things in here that this ordinance needs that it doesn't have.
Mr. Mayor?
All this does is amend the ordinance that we currently have. So those issues were already in place before I asked to minimize this,
Yeah.
and nobody has had a problem with it until I said, hey, let's do this.
That is not the problem. The problem is that there are things that we should add to this ordinance in order to have chickens in the city that we do not have.
Mr.
Man,
Mayor?
And fencing and all that stuff
I'm
is very
down.
important.
Let Chief Hips finish.
And fencing and all that stuff is very important. If you're gonna go with chickens, why don't we do it right?
So why don't we table this until further?
Okay, Councilmember Reynolds.
My request is that we table ordinance 1691 to be presented to the code committee to be reviewed, to go over all of this, because that's what the code committee is for, to review the code and make sure that we're amending it properly before making a
She's
hasty.
making that motion.
Yeah.
Is there, okay, we got a motion, a second, to send this to the code committee.
Yes.
Is that a correct motion?
Has the code committee concluded its
I
last?
think there was one more meeting maybe to address something. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
We got one more, we finished.
We definitely have one more.
I thought we were finished.
I did too.
In the code proposals that the committee's already met about, we have a new noise ordinance coming out on that. This would also, the roosters would conflict with that noise ordinance.
Yep.
That's another thing to consider.
Now, is that noise ordinance, how are you going to be grading that? By decibels or?
By the
Well, I think
sound,
we'll have to
distance, and
wait
feet.
till it comes out of the committee.
It was a distance.
Okay, the motion on the table is to send it to,
Sorry.
Lieutenant, you got something you need to say before I call for the vote
We're all
here?
chomping at the
I had an ADT motion.
So the noise ordinance currently for fowls and animals is that if it can be a fowl, bird, whatever, if it can be heard across the property line, it's too loud.
That's right.
That's what the ordinance now is gonna say, and the ordinance when we change is gonna say the same thing. It has the same thing in there. If you can hear that bird across the property line, if it's crowing at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you hear it, it's a consistent thing, it's a noise violation. The police officers are gonna have to deal with it, code enforcement's gonna have to deal with it.
And
I
then
mean,
we're
this
gonna
is,
have to
Okay.
deal with it when the dogs
Yeah.
start barking at
So,
you.
the motion on the table, I have a motion and a second to table this and send it to the code committee for further review. Okay, so we've got a second, all right.
Terrell seconded already, right?
Yeah,
Already
somebody,
had-
Barbara second, we got 3 or 4 seconds.
Call for
Okay.
a roll call vote, Mr. Chairman.
Roll call vote on sending it to, committee. Roll call.
Does the chairman have to accept it?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you got no choice.
Councilmember Deets. Councilmember Bolden. Councilmember Blevins. Councilmember Sansing. Councilmember Ray. Councilmember Mashburn. Councilmember Trailer.
Aye.
Councilmember Twitty. Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Raines.
Aye.
Okay, so we got enough. It's going to committee. Yes, and so that concludes our agenda. May the audience anything wish to address? All right, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, yeah, okay, now, I'm sorry. Okay,
Chamber banquet is this Tuesday.
okay, yes, Tuesday the 12th.
Is the city buying in the table? Is the city buying the table?
I think there's a Parks and Rec table and A&P, I'm not sure. And the city council, the city itself is not. But I think the A&P commission,
The city has bought one in the past, did we not buy one?
No, we got busted by the auditor.
Oh, we got busted by that?
Yeah, sorry about that.
yeah, Auditor didn't like that.
I'm trying to get a ticket, that's what I'm trying to get.
Well, you're on A&P, you can get a ticket.
It's 30-something.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any other announcements?
Are they having chicken?
We're having scrambled eggs and chicken.
Roosters is a meat bird.
Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
See ya.